So, you want to learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube? You've come to the right place. Now, every 3x3 cube has 6 sides, and thus 6 colors. The white side will always be adjacent to the yellow side, the blue side will always be adjacent to the green side, and the orange side will always be adjacent to the red side. The method that I'm going to be teaching in this video is called the layer by layer method, or CFOP as cubers call it. Now, what do I mean by layers? Well, take a look at a cube. As you can see, it does have 3 solid layers. Think of it like layers on a cake or floors on a building. We're going to start with the bottom layer, and then we're going to work our way up, and then eventually the cube will be solved. Another thing to keep in mind is that you are solving for pieces, not stickers. Like a lot of people, I did used to think Rubik's Cubes were solved one color at a time, but if you solve a cube one side at a time, you're only going to get one color done, but not much else. Every 3x3 cube has 3 different kinds of pieces. Center pieces, which are 1 color, edge pieces, which are 2 colors, and corner pieces, which are 3 colors. Now, what do I mean by solving for pieces? As you can see, the majority of pieces on a 3x3 have multiple colors on it, so you have to line them up with the proper center pieces. For example, white, green, white, green. White, orange, green, white, orange, green. You're also going to need to know cubing notation. Cubing notation is basically turning the different sides on a cube. Cubing notation is usually notified by having a letter associated with what side of the cube you're going to be turning. Okay, I'm going to be doing all these moves with the white side on top and the green side facing front. If a move is just one letter, you're turning that side clockwise. If it has an apostrophe next to it, you're turning it counterclockwise. So for example, if you're turning the front side clockwise, that is called front. If you're turning the front side counterclockwise, that's going to be called front prime, and it will have an apostrophe next to it in the cubing notation. So here are all the different moves you're going to be doing on a cube. So there's F for front, front, and front prime, as I just demonstrated. There's also notation for the back side, even though you probably won't be using this side as much, but I might as well teach you it anyway. It's basically the same thing, but switched. To turn the back side clockwise, or B as it's known in cubing notation, you're going to be turning it like this. So basically just like the front side if you're turning it counterclockwise. The back side is you get the idea. And also back prime is the same as front prime but reversed. Again, you probably won't be using the back side as much. Let's practice some of the other moves. For the right side, you got right, where you turn the right side up, and right prime, where you turn the right side down. For the left side, it's the same thing but reversed. Left is the left side down, and left prime is the left side up. For the top side, up and up prime. Now the down side, same thing but reversed. Down and down prime. If you see a letter with a 2 in front of it, that means you're going to be turning that side of the cube twice. Which direction you're turning really doesn't matter because you'll end up in the same thing either way. So for example, F2 is turning the front side twice. F2. Or R2 is turning the right side twice. R2. I almost forgot to mention this. When multiple moves are put together, that is what's called an algorithm. For example, R, U, L, D. That's an algorithm. D prime, L prime, U prime, L prime. That's also an algorithm. Now that we got that out of the way, let's scramble this thing and get you ready to solve your very first Rubik's Cube. Now, most cubing tutorials will have you start with the daisy, which is getting all 4 white edges onto the yellow side with a yellow dot in the middle, so it looks like a daisy. But for my cubing tutorial, we're going to jump straight to the white cross. Now that is getting all the white edge pieces onto the white side and matching them up with their respective centers. White, green, white, green, white, red, white, red, white, blue, white, blue, white, blue, and white, orange, white, orange. Now for this part of the tutorial, I want you to have the white side facing up. If a white edge piece is in the middle layer of the cube, you're going to rotate it up to the white side on top. Now, as you'll see, this edge piece that I just rotated is white and orange. Now, white is lined up with white, but this is not orange. But this is orange. So I'm going to rotate the top side of my cube once so it lines up with the orange side. This is another white edge piece. And the other side is green, but it's already on the green side, so I can just rotate it up to the top and call it a day. Here's my third white edge piece, and it's white-red, and what do you know? It's lined up with the red centerpiece. I can just rotate it up to the top. My last white edge piece is on the bottom layer of the cube. And what is the second color? It's blue. So I'm gonna rotate the bottom layer until it lines up with the blue side, and then I'm gonna rotate the blue side twice. And my white cross is done. But what if you rotate your white edge piece to the top layer of the cube and it's lined up wrong? Same colors, white, green, but flipped the wrong way. This is where your first algorithm is going to come in. Front, up prime, right, up. And just like that, your edge piece is now lined up. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to solve the white corners. If you do this move right, not only will you solve the white face, but you also will have solved the bottom layer of the cube. Now it's time for me to teach you your second algorithm. Inspect the bottom layer of the cube and try to find white corner pieces. These are pieces that have 3 colors on them, but one of them has to be white. So for example, in the bottom layer of my cube, I have this, white, green, and red. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate the bottom layer of the cube until my white corner piece lines up between the green and red centers in the bottom right-hand corner. This is where your second algorithm is going to come in. Right down, down prime, right side up, down. And would you look at that? My piece is in place. If you have a white corner piece in the top layer of the cube, so it's on the white side, but the colors aren't lined up, perform the algorithm I just showed you. Right side down, down prime, right side up, down. This should put your piece in the bottom layer of the cube. Now keep in mind, you have to have the white corner piece in the bottom right-hand corner of the cube between the 2 other colors. If you perform this algorithm once and the colors aren't lined up, that's perfectly fine. If you perform that algorithm up to 6 times, eventually the corner piece will pop into place. As I stated before, if you do these steps properly, not only will you have solved the white face, but you also will have solved the bottom layer of the cube. Now, if I went a little too fast, feel free to go back to those algorithms and replay those parts as slow as you want if that helps you learn. Now moving on to the next phase, where we're going to be solving the middle layer of the cube. If you do it right, then the first 2 layers should all be the same color. So for the rest of the tutorial, we are going to have the white side down because you don't need it anymore. To solve the middle layer of the cube, inspect the top layer. I want you to find any edge pieces that don't have yellow on it. This is an edge piece, red, blue, neither side is yellow, so it counts. Line up the color facing front to its respective center. So blue is the color facing front, so I line it up with the blue center. To solve the middle layer of the cube, you're going to need to learn 2 algorithms. They're basically the same algorithm, but backwards from each other. One sends it to the right, the other sends it to the left. This is the right algorithm. Up, right, up prime, right prime, up prime, front prime, up, front. This is the algorithm that sends the piece to the left. Up prime, left prime, up, left, up, front, up prime, front prime. If you see a middle edge piece in the middle layer of the cube, but the colors aren't lined up, I want you to perform one of the two algorithms depending on which side of the middle layer it's on. So, this is the right side of the middle layer, so I'm going to perform the right algorithm. And the green side is the side facing towards me, and the orange side is on top. The orange side is on the right. The orange side is right to the green side, so I'm going to perform the right algorithm. Once again, if any of that confused you, or if I went way too fast when explaining those algorithms, feel free to go back and replay those algorithms as slow as you want so you can follow along and learn easier. Now the next step is we're going to solve the yellow cross. It's basically the same as the white cross, but it's on the yellow side. Now, if you followed this tutorial right so far, then the top side of your cube should have one of three things. It should have either a yellow dot, a straight line with two yellow edge pieces, or two yellow edge pieces that form an L shape. If you have a yellow dot, perform this algorithm from anywhere on the cube as long as the yellow side is on top. Front, up, right, up prime, right, front prime. You can call it FIR for short. If you have two yellow edge pieces that form a straight line, rotate the top layer to where the straight line is pointing up and down, and then perform this FIR. Front, up, right, up prime, right prime, front prime. If you have two yellow edge pieces that form an L shape, rotate the top layer of the cube to where they're at the 12 o'clock and 9 o'clock positions on a clock. Front, up, right, up prime, right prime, and front prime. Now, if you perform this algorithm properly, you should get a yellow cross on the yellow side with either no yellow corners, or you could get one or two yellow corner pieces on the yellow side, which is perfectly fine. Alright, time for you to learn a new algorithm. Inspect the top layer of the cube for yellow corner pieces. Rotate the top layer of the cube to where a yellow corner piece is in the bottom left-hand corner and the yellow side of the corner is facing to your left. And I want you to perform this algorithm. Right, up, right prime, up, right, up twice, right prime. If you have two yellow corner pieces on the top layer, once again, that is perfectly fine. Perform that exact same algorithm with those exact same steps. Once again, with a yellow corner piece in the top layer facing to your left. Right, up, right prime, up, right, up 2, right prime. If you have a yellow cross with a yellow corner piece, as you can see, it resembles a fish. So we're going to do what's called feeding the fish. Rotate the top layer of the cube to where the nose of the fish is facing down to the left, and perform this algorithm once again. Right, up, right prime, up, right, up 2, right prime. If you followed all these steps correctly, then the yellow side should be completely filled in, but you still got one more step to go. The top layer of the cube. And if you follow all these steps correctly, your entire cube should be solved. Solving the top layer of the cube can be broken down into two steps. The first step is to have the top corner pieces be the same color. Inspect the top layer of the cube and see if there are two corner pieces with the same color. Now in my case, I have these two. They're both blue. But if you don't have any matching corner pieces, that is perfectly fine. Just perform this algorithm from anywhere on the cube, once again, as long as the yellow side is on top. If you do have matching corner pieces, rotate the top layer of the cube to where the matching corner pieces are facing left, and perform this algorithm. Left prime, up, right, up prime, left, up, right prime, right, up, right prime, up, right, up 2, right prime. I know that may seem like a lot to memorize, but keep in mind, half of that algorithm is an algorithm you already know. Now, if you do that algorithm properly, then you'll notice that all the top corner pieces should be matching. If you have a top side that is completely filled in by the same color, rotate it to where it is lined up with that color. So this top layer of the cube is all red, so I lined it up with the red side. If you do have a solved side from this step, put that side on the back. Now, as you notice, on my cube, I have all the sides are the same color except for this middle piece. If you don't have a solved top corner like I do, that's fine. It's time to learn your final algorithm. This algorithm should put the edge pieces on the right sides. Now, there are two algorithms. One rotates these pieces clockwise, the other rotates them counterclockwise. The clockwise algorithm is F2, up, left, right prime, F2, left prime, right, up, F2. The counterclockwise algorithm is F2, up prime, left, right prime, F2, left prime, right, up prime, F2. Congratulations, you have officially solved your very first Rubik's Cube. Now, if any parts of this video were way too fast or too complicated for you to follow, always feel free to go back to each algorithm and slow it down if it helps you learn better. Now, if it takes you a long time to solve a cube, that's fine. I was exactly like you at once. We all got to start somewhere. If you want to learn how to solve a cube really fast, like a lot of world record holders do, practice, practice, practice. The more and more time you solve a cube, the faster and faster you will get. I hope this was a very helpful tutorial that showed you that solving a Rubik's Cube is not as complicated as a lot of people think it is. And hopefully this tutorial gets you into speed cubing like a few other cubing tutorials did for me. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, as always, until next time, see ya.